Alright, now then, unfortunately we don't have a huge amount of money left. I might finish upgrading the armor on our plane. God knows we'll be taking quite a bit of beating.
Can you get a better fuel tank? That's what I'm worried about.
I don't think it ever gets bigger. You can get ones
like
that...
more efficient use or something?
More so they won't leak as much from getting shot at. There is things you can do though, like if one fuel tank gets shot and the other one doesn't, you can actually transfer the fuel from one tank to the other. You can get the engineer on in time. We've got just enough money to fully armor the plane. Unfortunately, that has put our takeoff weight a little bit close to the red line, but it's good to get by. Unfortunately, we're completely...
That means no mustache polish for Red Weldon.
Now, I do believe we have a major mission coming up, so I think we're going to do this one. So for the next 2 missions, the enemy will do less damage to our plane. So hopefully by the time the campaign mission comes up, this will still be in effect. Go ahead and blow off an ammo dump.
This seems a smart move.
It's almost like I played this game before.
What? Lies.
Yeah, disappoint everyone, it's not a blind LP.
It's the death battery you have to put out of commission.
We throw you out of this plane.
What? That's what it's called in German. Don't.
Oh, yeah, there we
What's
go.
it?
I knew I brought you onto this LP for a reason. You're a resident German translator. By the fact you're Hungarian. Speed up time a little bit until we get our English channel.
So do these people also have like level ups and shit?
Yes, I was showing that off earlier. And we...
But like, training up a newbie will be like as laborious as these guys.
Not so much.
When
there are actually like checkpoints throughout the campaign. So if we lose the plane or the bomber, sorry, the plane or some crew member, it won't be a complete start over.
Ah, okay.
They thought of that. We're already at the bomb site, which is interesting, and we haven't had any real opposition yet. This one's interesting. We have multiple ones, so we can't drop all our bombs on the same target.
Oh, here's something I know it's very important. Can you get one of those old-timey pinup girls on the side of your plane?
I have not actually seen that. That was more of an American thing, to be fair, but... Oh, we got...
I suppose. I was just thinking about that. I'm like, oh, I'd put one of those on mine.
Well, you can always get like a picture of the queen.
Or could you post make the nose of your thing look like a shark? Because that was always a thing for whatever reason.
Ah, no, over here is an interesting thing. Yes, I know. I'm quite aware we're getting shot at the moment by untagged fighters. Let's sort that out. That thing right in front of us is an optional thing we can photograph, and that's something we'll do because the money you get for that is quite important.
So it's just kind of go out of your way a little bit to take a picture of it?
Yeah. We've already got the bomb doors open. I think actually we need the bomb doors open to use the camera, but we're already flying at a very low altitude, which is hazardous, but good for photos. So we'll snap a couple photos here.
Gotta get a Polaroid.
I don't think they were a thing back then.
I'm pretty sure they weren't. Getting some more fighters. Let's go to the next. Oh, apparently. Oh, you guys okay there? The thing?
No, mine cut out.
Yeah, mine cut out too. I wasn't gonna say anything. I was hoping it'd reload.
No.
Oh, there it goes.
Okay, yeah, back.
Now, can you ever get any smaller planes like play fighters or anything?
No, we are always. Hence the name. We are always the bombers.
That'd be interesting if in the future they put in like you can fly like fighters and things.
Well, this is called bomber crew, but yeah. So we are taking a bit of a beating.
It'll be a DLC, Bomber Crew and Friends.
Bomber crew and friends.
Okay, so at this point, you know, fighters don't carry payloads of any kind.
No, not escort fighters. No, they need that for the fuel. Got a lot of fighters on us at the moment, but be okay. Oh, being on the top of us.
Yeah, so there's a lot of gunfire going on.
Now, as you were asking, oh, good lord, more. The auto tag skill would be really useful, but we don't have that yet. So.
So just a skill you want your gunners learn or something? Or?
The radio operator learns it.
Oh, okay.
Going to our last target. Now we have to split our bomb load here because there's 2 targets. The last one. And we're done. Oh, we got an engine fire.
Yeah, no.
Hang on, we got to get to a medium altitude now. We can do an ability called. Oh, never mind. We just lost the engine. Never mind. I was going to try and get us to a medium altitude so we could do an emergency dive to put the fire out, but didn't get that chance. That engine was gone. It was gone, skis. Oh, we're losing. Oh dear, this is a problem.
Trace folks out of ammo.
Yep.
Oh boy.
We got. This is gonna be a
This is
problem.
getting tense.
Fortunately, we just lost our electrical power, so we've got our electrical systems. Naya's going to try and patch that up. Paulie's taken. We're going to put Paulie in the medical room. She's been shot. Unfortunately, without the electronics, we do not have a radar right now. So, ooh. I think we're okay though. I think we're back over the English Channel.
Ooh, that was rough.
Now, you're asking earlier about ammunition. Ammunition is technically infinite, but the problem is when they run out, they have to run to the little ammo locker, which is about here, that midway of the plane. We can get upgrades later on that actually, like, they're very weight intensive, but we can get things like ammo feeders, which essentially stop their they remove the route to reloading. You gotta be careful how you position them. They're extremely weight intensive, so generally you would not put them on the guns right next to the ammo box, like where Nio and Grace.
Is that just a legitimate hole in the back of our plane there?
That is a legitimate hole in the back of our plane. you could walk out that right now. Doesn't really matter though, because I do believe we are in.
Yeah, we're low altitude. It won't matter too much.
Got the electrical systems back online, so we should be okay for the landing. It may have been a problem if they didn't, but
So did we complete all our objectives there?
we did. We not only hit both the targets, we got 2 optional recon sites, so be a nice be a nice payday.
I wasn't sure. There was a lot of hecticness going on there.
Oh, there was hectic. Oh, bit of a rough landing, bit of damage to that left engine, but doesn't matter. We got it home. Minus 1 engine.
Does it really matter?
No, not at all. As long as the plane gets back, we're in good stead. Plane gets repaired for free, and we get some bonus money. See, there we go, 1,000. Extra 1,000. So that nearly doubled our money there.
Damn.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's why recon photos are so important, and I'll usually go out of my way to get them.
Yeah, optional recon photos, 1,000. Yeah, that's worth it. Definitely if you can manage it.
Certainly is.
But I bet they're not always so easy. I mean, to get.
So what happens if you take the pilot out of the pilot's seat and nobody's driving the plane?
Flying the plane, you mean?
No, flying
Yeah,
the plane.
driving
yes.
What would you think would happen, no?
I don't know.
Yes. What do you think would happen?
Can't you just set it to
No.
keep the current heading?
There are no autopilots in Cartoon England, no. No, the plane would operate as you would expect, badly. So yes, you generally have to put people in the plane. Right, now we've got some new skills here. Nia's got probably one of my favourite skills in the game, Lean. It forces a lean mix into the engine. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm not going to say anything because the game pretty much did my job for me last time. So, here we go. So lean, conserve fuel by using a leaner mix, makes the plane fly slower but uses less fuel. That's very useful when we're over friendly territory, and I'll usually use that at the start of the mission until we get to the English Channel. Radio for recon, not terribly useful, but what it will do, it will pretty much does what it says. And we'll put like flak sites and things on the map for us to hopefully avoid or go over or whatnot. Focus essentially makes you shoot better. It's a cooldown ability. You use it. The gunners are a little less bad at their jobs.
Did you get a full auto and just go crazy?
Well, they're machine guns. They only come in full auto, but yeah. They essentially shoot more accurately. We got some new toys here. Don't know how much of this we're going to use, but unfortunately, no scroll button here, so I can't go back up to the top up there, but I did notice we got some new decals for our plane. Let's have a quick look at that.
Come on, lady pinup.
I don't think there's any. Again, we're not rowdy Americans, Neri. We don't.
Hey, we got ladies and some other things. We can do whatever we want in cartoon English.
We're respectful Englishmen.
Like, I'll go with now said. We'll get the picture of the queen on the side then.
I was hoping it was an actual duck, but no.
I'd settle for a duck.
You have a pumpkin. See, now here's the thing. You can actually put custom art on the plane. So if one of you actually want to make a picture for the next episode, I can put that on the plane.
Pixel art.
Yeah, pixel art. At the moment, though, eyes.
I'm gonna make a giant set of mustaches to put on side of our planes.
Oh, that looks like the old Australian Air Force symbol.
Yeah, eyeballs.
Now we do have some new gun turrets and whatnot, but I'm sure to actually upgrade some of this.
So what kind of gun turrets do we have currently?
At the moment we've got, well, practically every gun turret's a twin 303, which is not great. You can get some interesting things on there later, but they have different levels too, so, you know, 2's obviously better than 1. We do get, I do like the quad turrets we get later. We can essentially have those, like, you know, the fairly low caliber bullets times 4 instead of 2, which actually are not too bad when you throw them out in vast quantities. You get 50 cals, you can get cannons, you can get all sorts of weird stuff, but I have access to that at the moment. Now we can get a cannon upgrade, which is actually quite tempting, other than the fact we can't afford it.
Now, do you ever run across anything like anti-air installments?
Oh, very much so. There is actually, I actually got this secret weapon DLC. There is some crazy shit they can throw at us. We'll have to do that at one point, but...
Bees? They shoot bees at you.
No, they don't shoot bees at you. Oh, here's an upgrade I'm going to get right off the bat. Fire extinguisher.
20mm?
No, fire extinguisher. Good. So we're going to get one use of it per mission, but it will pretty much does what it says. Put out an engine fire without sending someone out to deal with it.
So I find it interesting that you're like, oh, so it's just automatically. It's not like you have a fire extinguisher.
Oh, there are fire extinguishers on the plane itself, which are important, as are the med kits. We will have to upgrade the racks there later too, so we can have more than one. We've only got 2 racks at the moment, so we've got one for the fire extinguisher, one for the med kit, which. Yeah, healing. That's going to be an interesting thing we're going to have to deal with at some point. Let's do one more optional. Beef up our plane a little bit before... Because actually, the first story mission doesn't play around. It will... So yeah, if we wanted, we could go do the first story mission right now, Operation Chariot. But... We could do that. We've got, enemy damage down for 2 missions. Let's do a sub hunt. Blow up some submarines with a heavy Lancaster bomber. Again, quite how I remember it, but quite how I remember history.
Well, it's all new to me. I don't remember history very well. Especially the stuff about wartime planes or anything like that.
Well, the good thing about it, this game's about as realistic as Star Fox, so you don't really have to worry too much.
Can we get Slappy, whatever his name is on our
Slippy.
crew?
Do you want him?
I know he always died when I played Star Fox.
Can't imagine why. 3 seconds in the mission, we've already got a mechanical failure. Thankfully, it's oxygen, which is the least important thing.
Good job, not doing your job.
Interesting enough, if you get someone to it quick enough before it malfunctions, it still needs to be repaired, but it won't instantly fail. If you wait for it to go bang, it'll go out. As long as someone's actually fixing it, it's still technically operative at the moment. Again, not terribly important because we don't plan on really flying high at the moment because we don't have the gear for it. We're going to have to look into it.
But do you get like extra experience for fixing it or anything? Or
I don't know on that point, actually. They might actually get something like that. I don't think so, though. I think it's mainly for... Then we're going to use our new... Yeah, I think it's mainly just for surviving. We're going to use our new ability, Radio for Recon, see if there's anything unusual over there. Light of operation. Come on, no, it's up here. Let's put him in. Alright. Oh! Hydraulics are now failing. Good lord.
Wow, our plane's just...
Did anyone service this plane? Yeah.
Not bad.
Let me look at it. I was like, alright.
I think that the plane might be made out of cardboard, and you know, it's raining.
It is raining. Actually, very. I love the sound effects. It's very soothing.
It is.
That is actually good. Yeah, listen to it. That's a good rain sound effect. It sounds a lot like the one I have on my app when I go to bed sometimes.
Oh, we've got enemy fighters. Thankfully, Nio has just finished, or just about to finish repairing our plane.
If an engine goes out, can Nio fix it anyhow, or?
Yes, and how is absolutely ridiculous. We'll get to that, I promise you. We're going to send Nio to do some crazy shit on this plane, don't you worry. Now, we've got a few submarines here. Guess we're going to drop some bombs on them, because they're polite enough to be surface at the moment.
I imagine it being easy to get confused over the water and where you're going.
That is actually an issue, but not at the moment, because we are low altitude. Oh, there's an optional recon site. We'll have to scope that out. The bomb doors are open. We come to the submarine. We have to blow up 3 submarines. That's a hit. Oh, yeah, it's a hit. Good. Snag that recon site real quick, as we're flying directly at it. Fortunately, you do have to manually tell your crew to reload. They're a little bit derpy on that front.
That's a little sad.
And then they drop bombs on that, the target I was supposed to take photos at. You don't actually get extra rewards for bombing things, to my knowledge anyway. Bombing things that you shouldn't be bombing, but take a photo of that. Get back up to the site. I think we've got more fighters coming in though. Yep, we do. Take them. Yeah, you generally want to get into the habit of always reloading your guns when you're out of combat. Know how to reload his, always very good now. Another submarine over there, so we'll grab that. Well, my character's still in the bomb seat, so... Thankfully the submarines are fairly fragile, being submarines, and they only require 1 load of bombs to destroy, so we've got quite a few... We've got a few chances if we miss, but I'm pretty good. I had pretty good landing these. And released. Oh, another good hit.
Then you have to look, just to listen to the explosion.
Yeah, well, for some reason, yeah, we were flying at a dangerously low altitude, but yeah. The game actually expects you to do that, bro. Oh, goddamn, we've got more mechanical. Hydraulics are failing again. No, you're the worst at your job. Hopefully we can get those in before they fail, and... Oh, good, we do. If we lost those hydraulics, our guns would be pretty much useless, unable to turn the turrets, so...
Well, they can't... Oh, I guess they still shoot, but they can't turn.
I actually don't even know that front, actually. I don't even know they can shoot them. We do have one more submarine, but... On the bugger. Well, the game thinks there's one more submarine for us to take out. I'll get spotted at green already. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Nice, getting some good on the job training there. Oh, there's that bomber. Unfortunately, we just missed him. There's that bomb site over there. That's the target. Yeah, we have to go over here a bit more. Thankfully, the navigator does get an ability later on that lets you play custom waypoints, so...
That's good.
You can't actually direct where the plane's going. They have to actually be navigated to a point. You can't just say fly over there. Alright, there's our last site, so we're going to go... The last submarine. Then, go bomb him real quick before he submerges. Yes, that is a thing. This is our last sub... Oh, no, we might be out of time. Probably shouldn't have chased those recon targets. This may be a failed mission.
Oh, no.
The end of the world. Nope, he got underwater, unfortunately. I do not know if there's any more submarines or it'll just say the mission's failed, but... Yeah, probably should have took into account that submarines actually can go underwater and probably should have sunk them before chasing after the stationary recon targets, but... Oh no, one of them was polite enough to surface right under us, so that should count for our mission. Bloody polite of them to do that. Now, since we have on target left and still over half a payload of bombs on us, we're going to drop all on this bugger. Oh, overkill, but done the job. Interestingly enough, you do not want to be landing with bombs if you can help it. You don't get points for saving the bombs, and it's actually quite dangerous. Especially if your plane's damaged.
Actually, because, yeah, you could explode.
A giant payload of bombs, yes.
Yeah.
We do have some more fighters coming
Makes
for us. So
sense.
let's put everyone back in their turrets. And reload their guns real quick. Don't think my side. The annoying part when the nose turret runs out, nose and tail are usually the first two candidates for getting ammo feeders because, yeah, they have the longest run to the ammo box. We did have some fighters. I think they got bored and went home. Other than that, though, it was a fairly clean mission.
Except for where we thought we failed for a second.
Yeah, right up to that point. Yeah. But thankfully enough, yeah, the German Navy was polite enough to have one submarine pop out run under us. And you can actually fail missions for not doing them in time, whatnot. That is actually quite an element for the first story mission, actually. So, we have quite a lot of time-sensitive things to do.
Do you lose that mission for good if you fail
I
it?
don't think you lose it for good. You just don't get the money for it. Well, we would still get the money for the recon stuff, which actually would probably work out about the same anyway. So, but the smarter thing would have been to take the photos later. Oh. No, those fighters really did give up. I've seen games where fighters have chased us all the way pretty much to London, but have they got better things to do today?
Yeah, the weather is not good, so they just returned home.
I mean, yeah, visibility is a thing. Alright, gear. I don't know why we did lock onto it. Okay, we're just doing a very long. I guess the plane looks a bit derpy at the moment, but here we go. We're taking a very long approach for the landing here, but we've got all our engines. I think we've got both our landing gear, got all our the important things on our plane, so we should be landing just fine. And yes, this is the things you have to check when you're landing. There we go. Picture perfect. Yeah, an extra 500 pounds, something to sneeze at.
Yes.
See what level ups. Didn't I actually learn how to fix something properly? We'll wait and see.
Yeah, I was just gonna.
Oh, we got some intro. Okay, so got some skills here now. Oh, custom heading. Thank God for that. Right, so corkscrew. Yes, in Cartoon England, you can do barrel rolls in a fucking bomber.
This sounds like a smart idea.
Yeah. It actually is an important mechanic later on. There are certain attacks they're almost like quick time events. You have to do maneuvers or get shot at. Custom heading lets you fly pretty much a custom heading. The only catch is the navigator still has to have visibility on what he's doing. So that's going to be an issue later because we're going to be flying at higher altitudes, which makes it much harder to navigate. Yeah, mid altitude photo. We can take photos at medium altitude, which, yeah, is somewhat useful, but generally with the altitude, it's low altitude you can be affected by flak. Medium altitude you can still be affected by fighters. High altitude you can get around most fighters. Some fighters will still be able to get you at high altitude, but not many. The catch is, so you have to worry about oxygen and you have to worry about temperature because it's very cold up there. But that's something we have to worry about for another mission. And with that, I think we're going to be wrapping it up today. So thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.
See ya.